So today I'm at a massive Ford dealership where they have run out of room to actually park their inventory on their lot. Is it possible they still have a brand new 2023 here? So check this out, they're having to park Explorers in places where you're supposed to actually be able to drive. In here, in the middle of lanes, we got them parked next to curbs. We got inventory everywhere on this Ford dealership. And check this out, this line of Ford trucks is so long that it even curves over the horizon. So here's the problem for a lot of these Ford dealerships right now. Ford has channel stuffed so many of their dealers that they're ending up looking like this. We got situations over here, cars parked in non-parking spots. Look, we got Mavericks hanging out the side. We got Mach-E that's right there in the middle, more Broncos. If I keep going down this lane right here, there are cars in every single one of these entryways to actually look at. If a customer wants to actually get one of these cars out for a test drive, the salesman's going to have to move 2 and 3 vehicles just to get it out for a test drive. Ford is overrunning their dealer body right now with inventory, and these dealers, they just can't take them anymore. All right, let's check this Maverick. Is it a truck? Is it a car? Is it a car with a truck bed? Is it a El Camino? You tell me. It's an XLT, it's a 2025, so we're still having a lot of the 2025 sitting around here. $33,400, so $33,500 is what it's going to cost for a Maverick. Remember when these things were impossible to find? Everybody wanted one. They could add $10,000 market adjustment on these Mavericks at these dealerships, and now you can find them just about everywhere. So what's crazy to think about at a lot of these Ford dealerships is that they still have 2024 sitting around. We're all the way done with 2025. Now we have 2026s that are coming into the system. These dealerships are having a big time problem still moving out old inventory. So what's got to happen? Well, they've got to lower the prices. And here's the thing, they needed to do it last year to get out the 2024s. So now they have to do it this year to get out the 2025s, but they still have the 2024s still sitting around. This is a mess that I'm glad I don't have to deal with. I get freaked out. I have a used car dealership. We sell cars that are $5,000 and under. I get aggravated if we have a car sitting on our dealership longer than a month. After 6 weeks, I'm cutting down my prices to where we're just breaking even on those cars that are sitting for 6 weeks. I can't imagine what these GMs, what these sales managers think about some of this inventory that's been sitting around here for 2 years. That would drive me crazy. I would never make it as a GM, as a sales manager, because I need that inventory to roll, and it would frustrate me so. I would just get mad every day rolling in past a truck that's been sitting there for 2 years, and I have to drive by that truck every day when I come into work, and I'd just be aggravated. You can hear it's not even my problem, and I'm aggravated for them. And then you get into like the cheapest thing that you can really find through Ford. It's going to be some of these smaller Broncos. See, I don't know, the trim looks a little bit different on this. I'll check it. I don't know if this is going to be the cheapest model that they have. Yeah, it's going to be pretty close. So this one is $35,990, so $36,000. This is the Bronco Sport. And I believe that says the Heritage package, so that might be even one of the more expensive ones. That's a Big Bend, Outer Banks, Badlands, Outer Banks, Big Bend. Let's just check one of these. I don't know if all of these are upper level trims or at Big Bend. $35,000. So yeah, just about all of these that you're seeing right here are going to range around that $35,000. If you could find a lower level trim, still in the lower 30s though. So that's just about the cheapest thing that you're going to be able to find on a Ford lot. It's going to be one of these little Bronco Sports, $32,000, $33,000 to $35,000. Cheapest thing that you're going to find from Ford right now. And I go to a lot of these dealerships often, and it's always very rare for me to find a Ranger. But here's a Ranger right here. There's a Ranger right there. I think we got one more right down there, but you don't see a whole lot of them. But here's one right here, and I want to check the price on it. See what year it is too. It's a 2024. Why is a 2024 sitting here? Very basic, STX. What's the price on this thing? $34,000. Isn't this what everybody's screaming for? A $34,000 truck? It does say right here, special order, so it might be something that's already been sold, but this is in line with all the other vehicles that are for sale. So maybe it was an order that fell through. Someone might have actually got one of the more bare bones edition, and that's why it's so much cheaper than everything else. This one's confusing me. I don't know if you can tell by what I'm doing right now, but here we go. But but you can't order it and it sit for a year. This is a 2024, it's brand new, 2024. There's your sticker right here. Price on it, $34,000. I'm surprised this thing is sitting here. There's something weird about that. Or are Rangers just very undesirable? I wouldn't think so, because that's the size of a truck that a lot of people are gravitating to because they don't want to spend $70,000 for one of these big F-150s. Here's another Ranger. Let's check this one out. This one's a 2025 Super Cab XLT, so higher level trim, $44,000. That fits more into the price point that I'm used to seeing for Rangers. That one that's now 2 years old that's sitting over there, very interesting. And right now I think Ford is one of the worst with an inventory issue. It used to be about 6 to 12 months ago, we were talking about Jeep, Dodge, and Ram specifically having an issue with the dealerships being overrun with trucks. But right now, I think it's actually the biggest problem for Ford and their dealers. So if you look behind me, all of these trucks, lots of them F-150s, we got some Super Duties here, but tons and tons of these trucks. And what has happened is a big channel stuffing issue where 2 quarters ago, Ford was able to report record number of sales, but sales are not, when they report their sales, it's not a retail sale. It's not when a customer takes delivery of an actual vehicle. It's when a dealership takes delivery of a vehicle. So here's the interesting thing. These dealerships can be suffering. They can be overrun with these trucks. They can be selling absolutely 0 vehicles to actual retail customers, but Ford can still be knocking the cover off the ball as far as sales goes, because if they are still delivering all of these trucks, all of these Mavericks, all of these Broncos that can't even, these Mustangs that can't even find a space at these dealerships, if they keep delivering those to their dealerships, they record those as sales. And this is how the channel stuffing happens. Ford can put up great numbers, but the car market can be in absolute collapse mode. These dealerships can be selling absolutely 0, and Ford can still say, hey, we're doing great because we're actually selling cars. And who's suffering? These dealerships right here are suffering. All right, so I'm gonna check this out. This is the average family vehicle when you're looking at Ford, right? Escape, they're a little bit too small if you've got 2 or 3 kids. The Expeditions, too big, too expensive, right? So we want to find that average level vehicle, and it's going to be right here, right? It's going to be a Ford Explorer. So let's check this one out right here. Different color. So it's a 2026 Ford Explorer ST line rear-wheel drive. My fault. It's not a 4-wheel drive. $50,000. That's your average family vehicle here at Ford. And let's pick another one, just so I'm not cherry picking one particular one. Actually, this one's 4-wheel drive. So if you're at a place that has ice or you need the 4-wheel drive capability, look at that. That's $62,000 that you have to pay for the average type of vehicle for your family. This is the thing. All these manufacturers, it's not just Ford, it's Jeep. I just went and looked at some Jeep Grand Cherokees. Point out one of these. This is a Jeep Grand Cherokee, and the price on this thing is $55,000. They're right there. They're $60,000 for a similar level trim of what we just saw. You go to GM, it's going to be very similar. The average family has been priced out of this market, and the average family vehicle being $50,000, people can't do it. All right, here's another Ranger sitting over here. Let's check this. Same line. There's the 2024 sitting over here. This one is a Lariat, so it's a higher level trim. Still 2025 though. Price on that's $50,000. Yeah, that's normal. That's what I'm used to seeing right there. 2024, special order, still brand new, $34,000. Interesting. I was just talking about the Lightnings. I do want to look at a price on one of them here. So I couldn't find the actual Monroney label, but this one's a 2023 Lariat. Is it still new? I don't know if it's new or not, but here's the price, $76,149. That's a new price. Is it possible they still have a brand new 2023 here? It might not be because the Monroney label is not here, but still, they have $76,000 on a 2023. That's never gonna sell, never gonna sell. Unless somebody is just looking for F-150 Lightning and they come up and say, okay, well, we have this one. It's not $76,000. I know that's what the sticker says. We'll sell it to you for $55,000. maybe then we get a sell on that. But it's at 2023. It's now 3 years old. That thing celebrated at least 2 birthdays on this dealership lot. And there's a problem with them actually selling, actually moving. Ford's cutting the production, maybe even canceling the product. And you got one there that's had at least 2 birthdays. Lots of cupcakes everywhere. I think, look at all these vehicles though. They're going to have more Lightnings throughout this place. Think about how many birthday parties we've had. These salesmen, they got to be tired of cake, of birthday cake. They're huge, I bet. All the caloric intake that's happening at this dealership from all the birthdays. I don't know how they get any of the work done. Oh my goodness. So 2023, product nobody wants. Sticker still says $76,000. Insane, just let that sink in. That's insane. This is something I'm very curious to see how it plays out. This is a 2024, so now we're almost 2 years old on this this vehicle. $50,000. What is it? It's a Mach-E, and they don't have just this one. They got all of them down there too. I'm very interested to see how Ford is going to handle the inventory over the next year for not only these, but also their Ford Lightnings. And with them pulling back a lot of their EV investments, a lot of their EV production, I could see that there could be some liquidation that happens at a lot of these dealerships because they're not going to be forced to continue to have these lines of Lightnings, of potentially Mach-Es that are at their dealerships. And I can tell you, a lot of these dealer principals, a lot of these sales managers, a lot of these GMs, they're probably really happy about that. I would almost guarantee that this dealership probably doesn't want any of those Mach-Es sitting at this dealership right here. Very hard to sell, no money to be made on them unless they're just making it up on the back end because very difficult to sell cars, come with lots of incentives, lots of money off, and that eats into any profits that these dealerships can actually make on the actual vehicle. They don't want that here. What do they want? The 350s, the 250s, the F-150s. They can make lots of money on those, not on these EVs though. And I want to check out some of these Broncos. This is one thing that Ford last year, they cut down some of the production of these Broncos, and it looked like it was just a big massive fail from Ford's standpoint. And they look great. I don't think it's necessarily a product problem. Maybe it's just a massive pricing problem. But let's go and let's see if I can find one with the sticker. Actually, here we go. I don't know what trim level this is. This one looks really nice though. It's a Badlands, there we go. All right, I don't know if you can see it, but it's a 2025, so last year's model, $59,000. So what we're getting into is that there's a lot of people out there that really like the Broncos. Now we can talk about quality, been a lot of quality concerns out of Ford as a whole, but specifically with these Broncos, I've heard lots of negative things about performance and things breaking, and that could be bringing down the demand for them if people are actually doing their research on them. But when you get in the price point, it's a pricing problem, in my opinion, because I mean, if you're looking for an SUV, if you're looking for something that's off-roady, they look great. I really love the look of the Broncos. They're cool cars. Still very expensive though.